Hello everyone. So as we discussed, we are now going to discuss fragments and fragments are important because not all the time you would like to have a new activity created for anything that you want to show up on your screen. A lot of times you would like to avoid making an activity. So let's say I'll first show you what is it that I've done with using fragments and then we will proceed forward, right? So recently, if you heard, there was this tragedy which happened with Brad Pitt and Angela Jolie. Not a tragedy exactly, it's their personal affair, but it was in news. So I thought of making something for them only. You see here Brad Pitt, very sad, and then if I click on the fragment number one button, then you see Brad Pitt, very sad with what has happened. And fragment two is your Angela Jolie. Uh, so this is something which I've made, not trying to mock at their personal life, but it was in there. It was in news, so it just struck me. Why not make something about both of these two people, right? So let's see how did I do this. So I just created an empty activity, and which comes with an activity main and main activity. First and foremost thing that I need to do is I'll make this a linear layout because generally they are easier to handle, especially when things are in a vertical or in a horizontal order, right? So I will do that and I will give it a background which will make it look like the way I showed it to you in my emulator. Six times zero, a hash code for black color, as simple as it looks, and then I delete the default text view which I get. Let's start with so basically right now I just have a linear layout. The orientation is vertical. I'll make it vertical. As you see in the emulator, there are two buttons here which are horizontally aligned, right? So I will make another linear layout here, and I will keep match parent and wrap content. No need to make any mention of orientation here because orientation by default is horizontal, right? So no worries there. First, I'll make a button. And then I'll change the width to match parent because I'm going to use a layout weight here so as to make sure that both these buttons are equal in size. Text as fragment 1 and on click attribute as select frag. Layout weight as 1. This is the first button that I've created. I'll copy paste this and make the relevant changes. Please see that I'm going to keep on click same for both of these two buttons because this is what the charm of fragments is, as you will see later. So what we're going to do here is I have made the buttons. Now if you remember in the emulator also there was this two buttons and then there was this big picture which was coming for both of them. This was bit smaller because that's how the image is. And so what I will do is I will have to put a frame layout here, and frame layout is like any other layout. The only thing is it is used especially in case of fragments. Match parent, match parent. uh, I will first thing I have to do is I have to close this linear layout here. I'll control X and paste, frame layout, and I will give an ID to this because I will be requiring an ID for this. Fragment place. Alright, let's see how does it look. Yeah, looking fine. This is a linear layout, horizontal, and then the frame layout, right? So now we can move forward to our next layout. Now what we will have to do is we will have to create two new layouts which will be used by the fragments. I'll copy paste it here only. So we have two fragments now. I'll give it, I'll just put a image view here, not button. I want a view. And ID as IV1. I'll give weight as 1, although there's no other entity here, but so that it occupies the entire space. First one, let it be Angela, and then I will copy paste this. Brad one. Alright, so layout is done. Now the only thing which is remaining is this is the fragment 2 and this is fragment 1, right? The only thing which is remaining is the coding part, which we will be doing now only. Please see that I have copy paste. I've found these two images on internet. I just made sure these are PNGs and copy pasted them in the drawable folder. So please do that because you will be requiring these to show up, right? Regarding the coding part, this is the main activity wherein we will be making changes. But we will also need two more Java files which will ultimately be connected with fragment 1 XML and fragment 2 XML. And these Java files will help us to bring these XMLs onto the screen. So I will go and create a new Java class, which is first one will be fragment 1. Okay. And another one fragment 2. All right. We will proceed further with these later. First, let's get to our main activity. In the main activity inside the onCreate method, we will have to make a few changes. Not changes, but we'll have to make some additions here. So as the screen gets created for the user to see, I will be calling a fragment manager class and make an object and call a method get fragment manager. Then I'll have to call fragment transaction and I'll call it tx, this is for transaction, begin transaction. You might not get each and everything here because it is a little different, but I'm sure you will understand it as we go forward. This is the same ID which I had used in the frame layout. So basically this is a method that I call replace method, which replaces this ID with the constituent of the next entity that I'm going to write here, fragment 1. All right. Now, as of now, it is saying that there was a fragment expected here, but it has found a Java class. That is because, as of now, fragment one is just it's just a Java class. We will have to extend it to to make it a fragment, which we will do. After this, so let's do it in this way. Let's go and make these two fragments first, because otherwise we will keep getting errors, and that's not very good way to proceed. Extends fragment, and then you have here what we will do is we will go to this code and then override methods. Here just type on create, and you have to find out on create view. This is it. Select it, and we see that we have got this on create view. We can delete nullable. So basically what happens is, this is like, if you see, this is very similar to an activity only, but the only difference is that here you have on create view, not on create, right? So fragments are very similar to activities. Layout inflator view group container, this will basically contain the layout that I'm going to use as a fragment. Here I will make some bit change because I want to return something else, not this. So I will call the inflator class, and then inflator, and then inflate method, right? And then I choose this. Here I will have to give the exact place where it can find my layout, fragment 1, and last parameter has to be false, right? Now let's see what is in fragment 1. Fragment 1 has the image, fragment 2 also has the image. We can come here and do the same thing with the fragment 2. Control C. Oh, sorry. This. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I will also have to extend this, and then everything will be fine, right? Now let's go to main activity, and I think it's been pretty long session, so let's resume this in our next session. See you in the next session. Bye bye.